And shot. These are good looks. These are makeable shots for Kevin Garnett.
Here's tough shot. Won't go, but draws the foul. It's going to go against Jameer Nelson. And Pierce, who just keeps getting to the free throw line over and over again. He'll shoot 2 to start here. 46 free throws in the 5 games.
Jameer Nelson once again finding himself defending Paul Pierce. Just a bad matchup for the Magic, and Pierce keeping his foot on the gas pedal, putting pressure on the smaller defender.
He was 10 for 10 from the line in game 5. Had a lot of his points early. Not much in the second half, but misses the first there. And you see all the free throws with the exception of game 3. Double figures in each game in free throw attempts.
But game 3, the game was over about 2.5 minutes in.
Early three-point Boston lead. At this point, home court is not such a huge deal to these two teams. They've proven they can win on the other team's floor. Howard left-handed flips it up. That won't go. Pierce grabs the rebound.
That was an excellent entry pass by Vince Carter right there. Howard can't go away from the basket on his jump hooks.
Rondo way short. Nelson again playing off him and pushing. Such a key the last couple of games. His aggressive attacking style. Misses that one. Rondo in the open floor. Count it. And a foul. 7 early points for Rondo.
You think about it, in the past, in games that they had to win, it was Pierce, Allen, or Garnett coming out spectacular. This shows how different a team they are in 2010. It's the Rondo show.
And the players are going to have to adjust. They are calling it extremely tight right now. You cannot touch right now.
Rondo completes the three-point play, and that was kind of expected with the way the game 5 went on.
And just a subtle thing, Rondo's got 5 points already in transition. In the last few games, their transition game has been almost non-existent.
Vince Carter offense has been non-existent the last couple of games. Pierce strips him of the ball, but fell down on the baseline. And it's Orlando ball. Mark Carter very quiet. 3 points and 8 points in the last 2 games. Is it important that they look to try and get him going? They've won without him being a big contributor offensively.
Not about them looking to get him going. Vince Carter is a big-time scorer. It's about Carter and his mindset. He's got to get himself going, and I love that last move, looking to attack Pierce.
And Howard attacks the rim again.
But to me, right there, a newspaper writer here in Boston said they've got to rambus him. They don't have to rambus Dwight Howard, but they can't avoid the contact and not make him make free throws.
And a foul, offensive foul called on Garnett. And that's 2 on Kevin Garnett. Garnett obviously not happy, nor is Doc Rivers. Danny Haynes was yelling at ref Mike Callahan before. They were going back and forth before the whistle was blown.
But Garnett actually did it twice. Got away with the first one, and then Dwight Howard tells the referee, take a look at it. So he gets away with that one and then does it again. If you're Kevin Garnett, you have to be smart.
There's clearly a foul. Callahan was watching it right from the start. He saw the beginning of it.
I mean, you could make the case that Mike Callahan tried to give the guy a break.
Callahan, one of the best officials in the NBA. He's the crew chief tonight as Lewis drives. Shot won't go. Nice tip in from Rashard Lewis, who's played 2 solid games in 4 and 5 in this series.
He's a different player, a totally different player, looking to be aggressive, looking to put the ball on the floor and taking his shots.
Rondo to Perkins. Howard knocks it away and then tips it to a teammate. Here's Jameer Nelson, sidesteps. Lewis fakes the 3, alley-up to Howard. Another beautiful setup, 3 dunks already for Howard.
But you look at how he's running the floor. This is how he's got to play. He's got a speed advantage over Kendrick Perkins. Use it.
And another nice pass to set him up with a high percentage shot. You see Glenn Davis in the game. And a defensive 3 seconds called on Howard, so another technical foul. You see Glenn Davis in the game. This is the play that happened. The elbow comes down, whacked him. Not only did he suffer a concussion, he lost a tooth. Doc Rivers wasn't saying, come on, get going, not realizing how hurt he was. And then we saw how the concussion can affect him. He was medically cleared. There's no time limit that he can play. Doctors say he's fine. He says he's fine.
I'm glad that he's fine because he was certainly looking like Trevor Verbitt against Mike Tyson. But give him credit. The guy knew he was out of it and tried to battle through it. Got up and tried to make a play getting back.
Meanwhile, Marquise Daniels, the other Celtic who suffered a concussion late in that game, he will not play tonight, not suited up. So Brian Scalabrine was activated for tonight's game. Shot clock down to 7. Pierce can't connect. Pierce often in home clinching playoff games, he's had some of his best playoff performances in these type of situations. Had 32 in game 4, but the Celtics lost that one in overtime.
Something we saw clearly in the last game, Rashard Lewis posting up Paul Pierce and taking advantage of that matchup.
That was great poise and patience by Lewis. Cleared Vince Carter out of there, said, I got Paul Pierce, let me back him down. Last year, when they played that matchup, he used it well, too.
Ray Allen from downtown. After Orlando briefly took their first lead, Boston back up 2. Nelson, a clear path to the basket. He was talking early in the series. He was worried about getting everyone involved. He's just worried about being an aggressive attacking point guard. He's done a great job the last 2+ games.
And when he plays that way, it's so much easier for everybody else on the floor. Not just himself, but everybody else will get space because he's aggressive.
Perkins passing out for Pierce. That's a 3. Back to back threes for Boston. They've got 3 for 3 from downtown already. Lewis with a good look. Won't go. Rondo the rebound. And he got fouled by Carter. And we'll have a timeout. With three-pointers such a weapon for Orlando, certainly in Game 5. Here for Boston in Game 6.
And it starts with Ray Allen making the first good pass to force rotation. Jameer Nelson, too small to impact Paul Pierce's release. He's got to contest much harder.
Welcome back to Boston, a city with a proud but at times tortured sports tradition. And in the wake of the Boston Bruins' recent collapse in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the normally hardy New Englanders are fearing the worst from the storm coming at them from the general direction of Orlando. Doc Rivers says he completely understands.
I don't have to bring it up. They'll be asked 100 times about the Bruins. They'll be asked about the Red Sox coming back. You know, I've said it 100 times. You know, we have great history in this town. Some of it is good and some of it is bad. The problem is our fans remember both. And they use it when they need to use it. Right now, they're using the bad part.
Both coaches, Stan Van Gundy and Doc Rivers, in their pregame press conference, made a point of saying, listen, history, ancient or recent, has nothing to do with tonight. The bottom line is the team who will win tonight will be the team that plays better basketball, Mike.
Well, certainly, Doris. But the fans, they've been talking about it nonstop. The pain from that collapse when the Bruins just starting to subside, although the wounds are still open. Mark, as a player, these things, does it ever get to a player? Do you think about these things? Because it's all that's been talked about by the fans.
It doesn't come into play. The bottom line is you're in a battle. It's a good defense by the Orlando Magic. So as a player, you don't think about it. Matter of fact, you're down 3-0. You're thinking, well, I don't care what the numbers say. I wasn't part of the numbers. I'm not part of the history. I know I am today. And then you think, okay, we're down 3-1. Now the numbers increase, and then it's 3-2. So you scratch history, and you make your own history.
Well, and I even think people saying this is Boston's Game 7. Are you kidding me? You don't think they could go down to Orlando and win a Game 7? That's ridiculous.
Both teams, as we said earlier, they're such good road teams. They've already proven they're such evenly matched teams, 2 well-coached teams. It'd almost be fitting for it to go to Game 7. Obviously, the odds usually favor the home team in Game 7, but clearly either of these teams can win on the road.
But you can't blame the fans because there's been statements from the Celtics themselves saying this is like Game 7.
But I just think it's ridiculous.
Nelson throws it up top of the backboard, is inbounds. Howard draws the foul, and he puts it in. Howard stays with it. The Celtics saying that it hit up top. As long as it just hit the top of the backboard, that's inbounds. If it hit anything behind it, like the camera or the shot clock, that's out of bounds.
But it can't go over. That's a legal play right there on the pass. Wow.
That's fine. That's all legal. It never hit anything but the top.